The Business Channel for business class programming.
We face an urgent environmental and economic imperative to act on climate change. We're experiencing the effects of climate change now. That is a real threat to our economy. We also have an economy which is increasingly exposed to a very volatile global energy market through such things as energy price hikes. So it's a huge challenge. We need to act on that now. But it's also a huge opportunity for businesses in the UK. The global low carbon market is estimated in the region of £3.2 trillion a year, and it is growing at around 4% per year. That is a big opportunity, and we want to make sure that UK business access and take their fair share of that market. Now, DEC has a pivotal role in making this happen, and we're attacking it on a number of fronts. Firstly, the need for a secure, low-carbon energy supply. This is absolutely crucial, and we are taking a number of steps to attract the private sector investment that we will need to have a decarbonised grid in the future. We're also investing in carbon capture and storage, which is a technology that will enable perhaps dirty fossil fuels to become clean in the future, and we have clean energy produced from coal and gas and so on. So that's a big imperative there. But we can't act on this agenda alone. We need an international agreement, and we're working very hard to secure that. We need a level playing field. I think there are two parts to this. Firstly, on the supply side, we need to ensure that we are harnessing the potential for renewable technology that we have in this country, be that wave, wind and so on. And in fact, we're already global leaders on offshore wind technology. But we need to ensure that the next generation of offshore wind technology is brought on stream, overcoming some of the barriers to that, such as access to capital finance for that. And therefore, this is an area that we hope the Green Investment Bank will be able to help. Also, on our electricity market, we want electricity market reform to open up the market to new generators and suppliers of electricity, of clean electricity, that we need in order to decarbonise our supply going forward. Now, secondly though, on the demand side, this is very important, that as well as clean energy supply, we need to ensure that we're using that energy in the most effective and efficient way. So on the demand side, we want to focus on improved energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is a win-win, reducing the amount of energy we use, and therefore reducing carbon emissions, but also reducing the energy bill as well. So it is a win-win, but it's not happening enough at the moment. That is where we want the Green Deal to really help. The Green Deal is a flagship policy that will help householders and businesses to reduce the amount of energy they use in their buildings through the installation of energy efficiency measures. And the unique thing about the Green Deal is that it tackles one of the main barriers to improved energy efficiency, which is having the upfront capital to carry out those improvements. The Green Deal will enable those improvements to be made without any upfront capital required. So there we have it. We need increased supply, but we also need better management of the demand of our energy. We hope through our electricity market reform proposals that we will create the right framework, transparency and certainty that investors are looking for to come to this country and invest in our energy production. The transition to a low carbon economy is going to require a massive injection of new skills. Skills looking at the new technologies of tomorrow, be that the new transport arrangements that we will need, ultra low carbon vehicles, for example, through to the next generation of offshore wind turbine or micro generation for smaller scale activities. That is going to require a renewed interest from our youngsters in the low carbon economy, a focus on STEM skills, that's science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and it's my ambition to really encourage youngsters to be aware of this new economy and to be involved in it through the choices that they take of their education. We also see a big role for apprenticeships as we transition to a low carbon economy. Take, for example, the rollout of smart meters. We envisage each household having a smart meter which will drive behaviour change in that household to be more aware of the energy they use. That will require a huge rollout and retrofit of properties, and there are going to be new skills that are going to be required for that, but also apprenticeship opportunities with that rollout. We want businesses to be much more aware of their environmental performance and their carbon impact through running their own offices and also through their supply chains and the goods and services that they provide. This is creating a demand for a new range of professional services, from estate managers through to lawyers and accountants. This is very much around corporate social responsibility, and we need the new professional services to support that new demand. The environmental performance of an organisation needs to be considered at board level. This can have a huge impact on the reputation of the organisation and on its bottom line. Saving energy is a good thing, both in terms of corporate reputation and in terms of the bottom line and in terms of saving the environment. This is creating in itself demand for new professional services, looking at how organisations can reduce their own carbon footprint and that of their supply chain in order that they are a top performer. This is going to become a reputational issue going forward, and we very much want the top of the office to have a clear focus on this going forward. Feed-in tariffs, FITs, are designed to increase the amount of renewable energy that is generated from small-scale installations. Under the scheme, participants, householders for example, are paid for the electricity that they generate. They're also able to sell any excess electricity that they don't use themselves back to the grid for a return. The aim of the scheme really is to increase the amount of electricity that is generated from renewable sources. It also has the effect of driving innovation within this particular sector through new types of innovative generating kit, but it's also a way of reducing the cost of this technology over time through the economies of scale that this rollout brings. It is clear we will need a diverse range of clean energy technologies to meet our needs of the future. It will also be good for jobs and our economy at home in that we will be producing this clean technology. That will also bring with it increased insulation from the global energy market and the volatility that that experiences.
The Business Channel for business class programming.